Okay, so some of you probably have noticed at this point that the actual Weka output doesn't really match the notation we've been using so far. And with the confusion matrix, it's not really set in stone. There's two styles. There's what I've noticed a lot, and I'm not sure the reasoning, maybe it's more popular in statistics, but most of the time you read articles or any books having to do with statistics or biostatistics, this first way is kind of the way I've traditionally seen it, that your actual is across the top row here, and then that your test and prediction is along the other axis. This other style isn't too different. This is actually what Weka outputs, and you can see across the top, if you look at your Weka classifier output, it'll say classified as, and so that's what this top is here. Is this is our classification, this is our test, this is our guess, this is our prediction, and the actual is along this axis here. So it doesn't really change a whole lot, except our true positives are still the same, our true negatives. But if you notice that the false negatives are now in the upper right hand corner and the false positives are in the lower left hand corner. So it doesn't really change our definition. So the definition of sensitivity is still true positive or over the true positive plus false negative. The specificity definition is the true negatives over the true negatives plus the false positives. But what you can't do anymore is do this and kind of derive the equation like that. So there's different ways to do that. One of the ways is to just convert. So draw your own confusion matrix and say, put your go to the Weka output and on your own piece of paper or what have you, put your true positive in your own confusion matrix, the true negative, and then map from false positive, and then put that in that square, and then false negative. If you don't feel like going to all that effort, Weka actually already calculates all those things for you. It'll, and I should note there's a bunch of different names for sensitivity and specificity, and I'll try to post a document for all the different aliases that you'll see for things like accuracy and precision, and that way you can have it in paper form and go back and forth. But Weka gives you all that, so if you don't want to draw your own and make a mapping, but if you're ever hand calculating this sort of stuff, and I should note, I'll jump over to my web browser here and open up the Wikipedia page. This is actually a really good sort of, I don't know if you'd call it a matrix, but this is our confusion matrix. So we can see, and this is the style I've used up to this point. So our true positive is in the upper left hand, our false positive is in the upper right hand corner, our false negative is in the lower left hand, and our true negative is here. And so from there, it'll imagine our arrows, and so if we go across, we can see that this is actually a precision, and then you can see all the different names. So it's our positive predicted value, our precision, all these different names as if you go across here. And again, with you can see our sensitivity, and as I noted, it's actually also known as our true positive rate. And you can basically take that same information and make a new statistic that's basically the equivalent. It's just, you know, the converse of it. It's our false negative rate, and the same thing here. This is also known as our false positive rate, and we can also see that it's also known as our specificity or our true negative rate, depending on how you calculate it. So there's lots of different ways. So say for this example, say we have our true positive rate is 8 out of 10. So our sensitivity would be 80% or 8 out of 10. But then if we wanted to find our false negative rate, well, we would just Instead, we would do our false negative, which is 2 out of 10, so that'd be 20%. So basically, it's just a bunch of different ways to calculate this stuff. And here's all the equations on the side. This is pretty good if you want to do a screenshot or what have you. This is just the Wikipedia page on precision and recall. As you can see here, this is another Wikipedia page, and you can see how they've kind of changed things. So this is our predicted class. In our other examples, we'd have our actual here, and on the left-hand side here, we have our actual in our other example, and then you can see how it changes it. So up on the upper left-hand corner, we have our true positives. Here we have our false negatives, our false positives, and our true negatives, and you can map them in between back and forth. I kind of like this because this one gives us so much information, and if you ever forget what anything is. Oh, and you can note that here's our accuracy, so our true positives and our true negatives over the total population. So this is a really good thing. Maybe you want to print this out and mark it up because it can be there's a lot of information here, and so maybe you want to circle some things and color code it in your own way and do what you want with it. But so that's just to note that the notation we've been using up to this point doesn't quite exactly match Weka's output, but there's a way to convert back and forth, and it's pretty easily, and all the different metrics that you get out are still the same. You just can't kind of use the arrow method unless you map it.